it's so wishy-washy that I'm not always very consistent with it. And then as far as like personally, I think one of the big things I've noticed lately is I'm really struggling with like for example, I have like this person at that's one of these coaches at the gym. His name is Evan, and I can't stand him. I don't like him at all as a person. And you know me, it takes a lot for me not to like someone to the point where like I like genuinely like don't like them and will bitch about them all the time. So he's kind of like a thorn under my skin. And my husband's like, I don't know why you care. Like, you shouldn't care. And I'm like, because it's the principle of it. The reason I care is one, it doesn't have the way that he acts and treats me, the energy that I'm picking up has no basis, meaning we've never had a falling out. I've never been anything but nice to him. Like, there's like, I can tell that like my personality probably isn't his cup of tea, but even that is not an excuse for like the just extreme dislike I think that's going on both ends, like this negative energy.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't care because it's like you don't even like him anyway. So why do you care if you like him? And I'm like, because it's the principle. And also because you know me, I'm like, everybody likes me. And it's not an option for you not to like me. And the fact and it'd be one thing if he had a reason, right? I've never given you a like that's what I think irritates me the most is like you're just a fucking asshole. And like I don't appreciate being the recipient of you being an asshole when I didn't do anything to deserve it. Does that make sense? Like if I had actually done something or was super obnoxious or was always on it, whatever, maybe. But like I leave the guy alone. So it's like so anywho, I bitch about him almost every day now. I don't know why I care so much, but I can't stop caring because I don't even when I show up and he's there, it ruins it for me. I'm like, oh, but just like he just sucked all of the love I have in that place out of the room. Just knowing that his presence is there dampers my spirit. Fucking can't stand him. Go get another job. Okay. So those are the two things that I have.
Okay, let's focus on that one because I obviously that one like it like is more important to you, I
But I
think.
also need to waste my free private time on him. Do you see this? Like now he's taking my this is
No,
my
no, no, this is not about him. This is about you, girl. This is about you. It's all about you, right? Because one, you're wasting so much energy on him. You're wasting so much energy on the fact that you don't like him and that he doesn't like you. So I want you to close your eyes. Just close your eyes, okay?
Or can I
And
do this too? With
yeah, you can
if
do
I'm
that
thinking of
too.
somebody negative?
Yes, you can do the same
Okay.
thing. But
joint.
do you think about that person? Or if you want
Uh-huh.
to participate in sharing your insight with Angela, you could do that as practice if you'd like.
Okay. I'll
Whatever you
just
want.
participate
Your
sometimes,
choice,
whatever you guys are
your
doing.
choice, whatever you want. Okay, so Angela, close your eyes. And then just take a deep breath so you can begin to relax your body because your body is going to tell you what it is, the things that you need to know. So just take some breaths because I got you worked up a little bit and then exhale. Don't talk, just breathe. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Okay, keep your eyes closed, okay? Focused on your breath. Just focus on your breath, that's it. Just focus on your inhale and your exhale. Okay, keep your eyes closed. Tell me his name again.
Evan.
So I want your soul, your spirit, okay, at your soul level, I want you to connect with Kevin's soul right now. Just call him in. It's easy. Just be like, I'm calling in Kevin's soul right now. Like we're gonna have this conversation because I need to understand what's going on.
I have to do that out loud.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just the calling in, you don't have to do it out loud if you want. It doesn't matter. Whatever you would like, Angela. And let me know when you've done that.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So I want you to ask Kevin at the soul level.
And it's Evan, just to,
Oh, Evan, sorry. Evan at the soul level. What is it that he is trying to teach you through this interaction? Like what is the deal? What is going on? Like, why am I having such a hard time with you as the human Evan? And see what he says. Because I just feel like you're very empathetic, you're very intuitive. If you just ask this question and wait a moment, you'll get the answer.
okay.
Okay, so what did he say?
That it's okay to not be liked
Okay,
and that I don't have to try so hard.
try so hard to have people like you, or to have him like you?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't get it, just that's
What
all.
do you think it means? What do you think it means?
I mean, if I had to assume, it would be me in general, just because that's an issue for me in general.
Yeah, yeah. And these people come into our lives so that we can be so irritated that it's a pattern that we can change, because you don't want for that to affect you every single time you see him. I mean, he's at the same gym, so you're seeing him 2 to 3 times a week at least, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, if you can't find a way to correct this pattern, or to end this pattern, or to change this pattern, then it's just going to continue, and it'll get either worse with him, or there'll be other instances where people will trigger you in the same way. Because when we don't address it, when we don't acknowledge it, when we don't change it, spirit will continue to bring us like more lessons, and the lessons suck, right? Like, you don't want to keep learning this lesson over and over again. So okay, I want you to ask him now, okay? Ask him what would be the best way to interact with him as a human, so that you're not triggered by just seeing him and being around him.
Okay.
Okay, what did he say?
To be patient and to be kind and to not feed into the negative energy.
Yeah, because as a human, he's struggling right now. And because you're so empathetic, I think you're also feeling that. And it's not a good feeling. And it's coming from him too. And so, of course, you don't like him, because he's just all negative energy,
Mm.
he's holding on to a lot. And it because you are who you are, you're sensing that, and it doesn't feel right to you. And so, it would be natural, to not want to be around him, to not like him, because that energy doesn't feel right to you. But now that you understand him at a soul level, do you feel like when you see him, there might be a little bit more understanding? That doesn't mean you have to like him, Angela. It just means an acceptance and understanding of who he is, so that you can allow him to be who he is without it bugging the fuck out of you.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, is there anything else that he wants to share with you?
Um, I mean, I feel like I just sensed an immediate no, like a shutdown. But that also could just be like that's also his personality. So I'm like it in human form. Like there's a
Yeah.
so I'm not really sensing anything like other than like I
Okay. So now you can disconnect, just be like, okay, I'm, you know, um, disconnecting our conversation and our energy. And there are no cords that connect us at this time. And just leave and just give him peace and love or peace and acceptance, whatever words you want to use, just to allow yourself to depart from this interaction and come back.
okay.
Okay. So do you think that that was helpful, or do you think that when you see him you might just get triggered just as easily?
I think it could be helpful. I think time will tell.
Yeah. I
But
think when you see him, you should think about what happened tonight. Because remember, there's the human part of him, and then there's the soul part of him. And the soul is telling you the truth. The human part, he's still struggling.
I do think that when you said that, he's probably struggling, that like that kind of clicked with me. And I thought, oh, I could see that like in retrospect about him because he's wound pretty tight and he kind of treats a lot of people honestly like he treats me. It's just like I feel a lot of it is worse towards me. So I don't know if he's just not a fan of my positive energy. You know,
Yeah.
just a real
Miserable people hate happy people.
he's difficult. Like he's just a difficult person. And it's awkward to be around someone that's like that. That like I can walk in the room and we can go weeks without him ever acknowledging that he even knows me. Not a hello, not a goodbye. And he works there. So I'm like, you're not a good representation. Do you know what I'm saying? Like he will literally never make eye contact with me, never acknowledge that I'm in the room. The only time he will is either A, if I acknowledge him first, and even then you can tell he's reluctantly responding and still won't look at me half the time, or B, when he actually has to coach a class, if I'm in one of his classes he's coaching, he flips a switch and all of a sudden he turns on to everybody and it's like he's the friendliest guy that you've ever met and it's really almost weird because I'm like it's like Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah.
Only
Well,
time he acts more
he's playing his game. He's playing his game to survive because he knows that he has to have this job. So he can't always treat everyone like shit because then he'd get tons of complaints.
Mhm.
So he's just playing a game, and you kind of remind me of this friend I had who she was like you, just wanted to be friends with everybody, and she would just shower people with love. She showered them with love so much that she made her enemies her friends. So it is a possibility. I don't know if you want to go there, Angela, but I'm telling you it works. Like she showered everyone with love. She treated them like they were so special to her that they ended up just the people who were annoyed by her just ended up loving her because they knew it was real. That's the other thing. She wasn't pretending. Like she really wanted people to love her because she felt like they were deserving of it too. So if that feels authentic to you, great. If it doesn't, that's okay too, but now you have talked to him at the soul level and you understand just a little bit more why he's acting the way he's acting. And through understanding, we can be softened a little bit, and show a little bit of compassion towards people. I think that's really all people want is love and compassion. That's really all it is. And it's hard. I'm not saying it's easy. It's hard to love difficult people. It's hard to love mean people. It's hard to love people who treat you like shit. How do you do that, right? But I think it's not so much love. It's an act of love. Is the acceptance part is an act of love. And if you just accept him for who he is, then there's no expectations on how he should act, because you're just like, that's who he is. And honestly, I have no business changing him. That's his responsibility. And I'm so done spending my precious energy on him. You know, like every time you react to him, you're giving a part of your energy to him, and he feeds off of that.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's another exercise too, another exercise of awareness again, you know, like, where am I putting my energy, not realizing that I'm doing that,
Right.
right? Yeah.
No, I think this will be good. This will give me a better perspective and
Mhm.
uh, maybe a little more like patience, because it is kind of stupid and I'm wasting my energy complaining almost every day. And then my husband's like, shakes his head at me like half amused because he's like, I don't understand why.
Angela, just be like me. You go to the gym to work out. That's it, not to make friends.
Yeah, that's never gonna happen.
I know. I know. Okay. So your second question was, how do you know if it's an irrational fear or a real fear?
Well, yeah, just like reading your intuition between I guess fear would be a good one, fear or anxiety versus like your gut's really telling you like, no, stop, a car is coming versus, oh, I'm just afraid the car's going to come because I know this is a busy road, so I'm going to freak out before, you know what I'm saying? Like that's a stupid example, but like it's just trying to figure out like sometimes I just don't always trust my instincts because I don't know if my instincts are being like my true instincts or if it's like all of the stuff that goes on up here that's making me think, oh, I'm getting a instinct. Is that
Yeah, yep,
get what?
totally. I totally understand what you're saying. And it's only because you haven't practiced enough so that you can trust yourself. And the thing that I have learned about um fear, if it's like a real fear where my intuition is telling me something, or
Mm-hmm.
it's something irrational or something that's not necessarily real, is my body. That's why we practice, like during our clearing, you know, identifying areas within our body where we're holding energy, because when you feel the real fear, your body will tell you. Your
Mm-hmm.
body will tell you the truth. Yeah. um Even sometimes the irrational fear, it's your mind first and then it sends signal to your body. But
Mm-hmm.
from my experience, when it's real, it's just like whoosh, in my whole body. And sometimes too, it's not that strong. Sometimes it's subtle. Sometimes it's more of a subtle feeling, like around my chest or in my belly. Like it may be different for you. For me, it's usually my chest and my belly. That's where I feel like that fear type of energy.
Mm.
And then the fear part usually too. Okay, so this is also we're still talking about fear, right? Using your intuition
Yeah,
to identify what's real.
I think it's just me learning to identify what I think my gut instinct is. And so
Oh,
sometimes my
what's your
can be clouded by all the other things up here.
Yeah.
And I
Okay, so this is a really good I mean, it's kind of like the clearing, you know. So when you're trying to figure out if it's real or not, I want you to ask if it's happened, the same type of thing has happened in the past. And usually if the answer is yes, it's a fear, it's a logical fear, or it's your mind telling you not to do something because last time this is what happened, or last time it didn't work. So it's protecting you, you know, your mind, your brain is protecting you from doing something different. It's a different pattern now, you know. Does that make sense?
no, that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Any other questions around that?
I don't think so. I think I'm just gonna have to work on So it sounds like either doing the clearings or
I would start with the clearings.
go
And
into the body and see if I'm feeling it in my body. And if I'm feeling it in my body, it could be more than likely that my mind is trying to sway versus like what my actual instincts are. Was that kind of what you were saying?
yeah, but even if it's a logical thought or fear, you can still feel it in your body. So my recommendation for you is to just practice, like anytime you feel like that you need to discern whether it's your intuition that's telling you to do it, or if it's your logical mind telling you to do it, to choose one and see what happens, and then keep track of it so you have like evidence that
Mm,
you're improving or that you're tending to lean towards your logical mind. You know what I mean? Like there's
okay.
going to be a pattern and that will be clear to you. So, and then you can't dispute the data either.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Mhm. But it takes commitment to do that. You know what I mean? Like you actually have to stop and like write it down. But I think writing it down helps because then you're putting your thoughts down on paper and
Hmm.
seeing like, okay, what is it that I'm really thinking here? And that also helps you work through what's real and what's not.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do good when I actually take the time to write stuff down. I just
Oh,
have
yeah.
a habit of it.
Yeah. Or even like, when I made you stop and just connect with Evan's spirit, his soul. Like it was just like that for you. It wasn't even a big deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it'll be like that. Like it'll be like that with you being able to trust your intuition more. So, but I get into those moments too, because maybe they're big decisions, and it's not always obvious. So yeah. So there'll still be moments when you're not sure.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay.
But if
I
you
like,
want to trust yourself better, then you have to just practice it.
yeah,
Mhm. Yeah.
that's good. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. What about you, Jua?
Okay. The intuition thing, like, I feel like I'm not really intuitive. How do I
Yes,
become more
you
intuitive?
are. You are intuitive.
Really?
Oh
I feel
my,
like I'm not.
you are. It's almost because you doubt yourself so much, Jua. Like
Uh-huh.
you have no, like I think a lot of us see like that you have so much potential, but you don't see it in yourself. And it's so hard because people have said that to me before. You have so
Yeah.
much potential. And I'm like, what potential? You
I know.
know?
Where is this potential?
Yeah, I know. And the only way for me to build that confidence was
Uh-huh.
to do it, to do what it was that I said I wanted to do, or try the
Hmm.
things that I wanted to try, just haven't made the time for it or allowed the fear to get in the way of it. So what can you do to build your confidence around feeling like you have all this potential, because I know you've told me in the past that you wanted to be like an event planner, right?
Hmm.
Is that still something that you want to do?
I feel like that's fun stuff. Yeah. I have fun doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so like what opportunities are coming up that you might have time for, like something around, maybe with your family, or no, let's not do family because there's such a complex relationship there. Let's do friends. Like who among your friends have a
Uh-huh.
celebration where you can be like, hey, I have a really good idea. I want
Uh-huh.
to try to do this much of your event and I'll do it
Hmm.
for free. I just want to try it out to see if I like it because it's something that I, you know, feel
Hmm.
called to, but I'm not sure like how to start. I don't know exactly what I'm doing. Would you trust me to plan this event for you, whatever it may be?
Hmm.
Like, would you be willing to do
I
that?
mean, there is a baby shower is it this week? Yeah, this weekend. I mean, but I'm only gonna go to help them set up and decorate, but I'm not like planning it or anything.
Well, maybe, yeah, maybe not that one because it seems like so last minute.
Yeah.
So think about other celebrations coming up with your friends, and
Hmm.
you can proactively approach them and ask about, you know, planning it. Ask about like,
Yeah.
I mean, not like whatever. Create some guidelines around it so that you're not burning yourself out, because you have a full-time job too. So
Yeah, I'm so busy. I don't have time for myself. Uh-huh.
yeah, so what can you do for them and are willing to do for them with the time that you have,
Uh-huh.
to see if that excites you, to see if you think you actually might be able to do it while you're doing it full time and charge for it down the road. But
Mhm.
getting started, just do it for your friends and see what they say. And you can always take pictures and stuff, because people always want to see your work.
Yeah.
So, um,
I'll think of something. I can't think
Yeah.
of anybody really right now.
yeah,
Maybe. Yeah.
think so. I mean, there'll be events coming up.
Yeah.
Okay, so in terms of intuition, okay, so what can we do right now to help you, like, feel more confident with, how about you read me? Okay, I know, it's so
Okay.
weird. Just do it. It's
I
no
know.
pressure. It's just for fun, okay? Just whatever comes to mind. Close your eyes. Close
Okay.
your eyes. Okay, just close your eyes. I just want you to
Mhm.
feel like no pressure. It's not a big deal. We're just playing a game, okay? Close your
Okay.
eyes. Some breath. Take a deep breath in and out. Do you want me to ask a question, or do you just want to read whatever energy that you're feeling?
Sure, just ask me questions because I don't know what I'm doing. Okay.
Okay. Okay, I'll think of a question to ask. Okay. Okay, I want you to continue to breathe, and then I want you to connect to my spirit. Just you can just say, I'm connecting to Teresa's spirit now, so that I can share,
Right now.
so that I can be a clear channel and share messages of love with her. Okay, so my question is, are there any other actions that I need to take to expand my business to reach more people within the next 3 to 6 months? So what actions do I need to take to reach more people in the next 3 to 6 months related to my business?
Um, Social media, connecting with people, making the right connections.
Mhm.
That's what I have.
Okay. So how did that feel? Did it feel
Huh?
natural?
Say that again.
Feel difficult?
I was like nervous.
But
I don't know. Yeah.
nervous, but did it feel, I mean, you didn't think that long about it. So, I mean, that's good. You just shared what came to you.
Yeah.
And usually that's what our intuition is. Our intuition typically is the first thing that comes to mind. That's usually,
Okay.
so, when you were able to just give me that answer within like 5 seconds, that's a
Mhm.
really good way to practice. So you can even ask yourself questions, things that you want answers to, and
Okay.
then write it down. Write the question and then ask the question and then write the answer without thinking. Just it's
Yeah.
all just like automatically, because
Yes.
you'll be like, what, really? But that's actually your intuition speaking to you. When we overthink, that's our
Okay.
logical mind getting in the way, and giving us all these reasons why we shouldn't do it, because it's out of our natural behavior. Like,
Uh-huh.
it's just like, hey, this is weird, don't do it. Meanwhile, our heart is like, I want to do it, but my brain's saying no. So that tug of war is very common. It's just because we're not stepping out of our comfort zone enough. Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to try that. That's That's really good. Okay, what
Yeah.
about like grounding myself?
Yeah, so that's debatable. I know I talk about grounding, and when I talk about grounding, what I mean by that is like just filling yourself up with light and expanding. That's it. That to me is grounding. Other people will say grounding is like grounding to the earth, you know,
Yeah.
and connecting with nature and all of that stuff. I find that I just connect to the light and that's enough for me. So you have to do what works for you. So you can do the light expansion, make sure you fill your body head to toe, and then you expand. That to me is grounding enough. But if you need more, if you feel like that doesn't work, then go out into nature. You have to go outside, and that will help you ground. That'll help you kind of bring you back into the present. Or you can also touch
So
it.
what is supposed to happen to you when you're like grounding yourself? Like,
You feel like okay, so you know, sometimes after a sound bath, you feel like
mhm,
not quite there. You're like coming back from an experience.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's when you're not grounded. And so when you're grounded, you feel like right now, where you and I are talking and you're totally attentive to what I'm saying. That means
Uh-huh.
you're present and you're grounded. So when you're like scatterbrained, that's not grounding. That's not when you're grounded either. That's when you're just everywhere. So to ground yourself, that's why that's why I say I like to connect to the light, because the light always brings me back. But if you feel like that doesn't work for you, again, just go outside for a little bit, be in the sun, hug a tree, like literally hug a tree. People
I
do.
know. Okay. I know people do that.
Oh, you don't, if
Okay.
you don't feel like hugging a tree, you can just touch it. You can just put your arm there and just like lean on it.
Okay.
Mhm.
And then the other thing is abandonment issues. Like, how do I deal with that? Or like inner child work. I
Yeah.
feel like I have a lot of like inner child work I need to work on, but I don't really know what I need to work on.
Yeah.
But I feel like,
Okay. Yeah. So your thing is just like continue to work on loving who you are,
yeah.
regardless of all the stuff that has happened in the past, right? Because
Hmm.
I think for you, you kind of bypass like dealing with it and
Hmm.
like pretended that none of it happened. So now
Hmm.
you're having to deal with it through other relationships. And
Hmm.
those relationships are teaching you, right, that
Yeah.
you have some patterns that need to be broken. So
Yeah.
when you find yourself in a moment of, give me a word that describes how you feel when you feel abandoned. Like, what does that feel like to you?
Doesn't feel nice. I just, I feel like
Just,
I'm being like left there, like
mm,
alone.
yeah, yeah. And what other times have you felt like that in the past?
So most recently was like after like Scott and I broke up, I went on like a date with a guy. And then like after a date, like I felt really abandoned by him. But it had nothing to do with him. But I just felt really abandoned by
Yeah.
him.
And so before
Like,
the relationship, I mean,
uh-huh.
so there's the guy that you were dating recently, there's this
Hmm.
date that you went on, there's your
Hmm.
ex-boyfriend, right?
Hmm.
There's like in your family when you were younger, so many
Hmm.
moments you felt abandoned, right?
I'm sure. Yeah.
And so all of this is again rolling up to today, and it's saying, okay, Jua, you've identified that you have abandonment issues, and what are you willing to do about it now? Because it's not about you not being worthy of love, even though I think that you still believe that you're unworthy of it. Do you feel
Hmm.
like that's true or not?
I don't know. I feel like I'm working a lot on that. I'm starting to change my mindset on that. on my self-love and accepting myself. And but I am like a hopeless romantic. I believe in love, and I feel like my person is out there and all of
Yeah,
that, right?
yeah,
I
yeah.
I feel like I'm really deserving of it.
Okay, good.
And I'm still working on changing how I see myself and all that stuff. So
Yeah. And I think it's great that you're,
yeah.
taking better care of yourself too. That's a sign that you
Hmm.
are taking care of your body, and that you're wanting to just focus more on self-improvement. But there's still
Yes.
a part of me where I'm feeling like the there's an aspect of you that just is not quite there yet. And so I think what we have to do with you, Jua, is
Hmm.
how we did the timeline exercise?
Yeah.
I think you have to go back, and you have to kind of do it slowly, or you go back into
Hmm.
years and address it. I think you have to address those years and change the
Okay.
energy of it. You know how with the
Uh-huh.
retreat we went back.
Yeah.
And yeah. So whatever happened back then, I want you to change it into a scene or a moment that you would have wanted to happen. And then
Okay.
also accept, right? Like, be very mindful of saying this,
Mhm.
like, accept that these people are who they are, and what they did was, while what they did wasn't, a decision that you believe is like the best decision that they could have made, it really was the best decision that they could have made in that moment because of what they knew back then.
Mhm.
They did what they did because of what they believed back then was right. And even though many of us probably would disagree, it's not making them right. It's saying, I accept you for what you did, regardless of whether or not I agree with it. I accept
Mhm.
that what you did happened. And I choose to change the energy of this, so that I can bring into, the present moment, so I can heal the past and I can bring into the present moment um a different energy, a different approach to how I believe that I should be treated.
Mhm.
Because honestly, I feel like as much as you are focused on self-love and self-worth, and I know that you've come a long way, and I'm super proud of you, and I can see it.
Mhm.
Um, but that pattern with the men in your life is going to continue until you really dig deeper and understand why you're doing it.
Okay.
Okay. Because even what I know from Scott is what you told me, right? It wasn't even the ideal situation anyway.
Yeah.
And no situation is gonna be perfect, but that one was a little crazy, right?
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
retrospect, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. In
I don't
retrospect,
know. Was it really?
oh
I
my
don't
God.
know.
Yes. Psycho wife, right?
Uh-huh. Okay,
Divorce.
that part was crazy. Okay, that part was
Okay,
crazy.
yes.
But other than that, everything else, I felt like,
Psycho wife.
uh-huh.
Okay, that part is crazy. That's like, that would only stress you out. So in a way, it's good that you don't have to deal with
Yeah.
that, because you don't want to deal with it with your son and all the stuff that you have to deal with right now in your life anyway. you know does that make sense?
Yeah, that's true.
Is it okay if I said
Yeah.
that in front of Angela?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
no, it's perfectly fine. Yeah.
So anyways, I'm glad that.
I'm a vault anyway. I don't repeat people's stuff. Don't ever worry about that.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's no worries. Um, it wasn't a good situation for you anyway, Jua. I know like that you cared about him.
Mhm.
Like you said, and maybe he'll come back. But like you said, like that the man that that you deserve is out there.
Mhm.
And this is you just preparing yourself too, because you want somebody who's going to compliment you, not
Yeah.
compliment, not as in like flatter you, but compliment as in like as a person, as a partner, versus him filling in something that you feel is missing.
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. So I feel like once you get to the point where you feel so confident in who you are and love yourself so much that you're just going to attract like the guys who will just shower you with love, because be like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, she's like this amazing woman. Not that you aren't now, but I think
Yeah.
some men might still see the wounds.
It'll just be different. I'll be.
Yeah, and they see your vulnerability, to be honest.
Yeah.
I have to plug
Mhm.
in the computer real quick. They see your vulnerability and
You
either
see the guys now? You say see that?
yeah, and some will stay because they're trying to be like that protector. And then some will just be like, no, that energy is not for me, and walk away. And which is fine. You don't want those guys. You don't want either. You don't
Yeah.
want either. You just want someone who accepts you. That's it. Accepts you for who you are.
Yeah. Mhm.
So okay, so what other questions? We have 10 minutes.
Okay, so you're saying I need to work on the timeline exercise, and then that will help me
Mm-hmm.
on how to fill this hole in my spirit.
It'll help
Okay.
you be more
Hey.
aware. It'll help you be more aware of all the stuff that has happened in the past that you
Mhm.
haven't allowed yourself to confront. And I
Okay.
feel like you are powerful and strong enough to be able to do this.
Hey, Teresa.
Yeah.
I had some people I wasn't expecting to stop by that apparently stopped by, so I had to log out. I'm
Yeah, no,
sorry. I hate
no,
that.
it's
I'm like,
fun. It's all good. Thanks for coming.
Bye, Angela.
no, thank you. I know I haven't got to come to the last one or two, so I was like determined to be on here tonight. So I will definitely try to keep making them because I think they're good for me, and I
Good.
do better when I actually like attend them.
Oh, good. I'm glad. That you feel that way.
Yeah. So I appreciate your time and your love. And Jua, I'm sending you lots of love, girl.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye,
Bye,
y'all. Good night.
Angela.
Wish me
Bye.
luck. I'll make sure to let you two know how it goes.
Yes, let us know.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, bye, girl.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, Jua, what else?
Okay.
You have all.
Okay.
You have
So
me
I just need to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Okay. Will that help me with my abandonment issues? But that'll help me
Yeah.
with a lot of stuff, right?
Yes, it'll help you with so much, but it's going to be a lot. So you might have to like split the timeline thing, over a period of time, because there's going to be a lot of stuff that comes up with what you've already shared with me.
Uh-huh.
I can't imagine like what else is going to come up, because
So kind of just go through and just whatever comes to mind, just kind of deal with it.
yeah, deal with it and feel it. I want you to sit with it and feel it. Okay. And I want you to cry because I want you to be able to release it. Or
Yeah,
however.
I feel like I've been crying a lot. Oh my gosh, I cry all the time now. All the time. It's so ridiculous. I'm like, oh Lord Jesus. But yeah, it's a good thing. No, but it's like it's a good thing. Yeah.
Yes.
I cry all the
Because I
time.
remember the first time you came to retreat, you're like, I never cry. I was like,
Like
what?
it's really hard for me to cry. Like I would have to watch like super like devastating stuff to like cry.
That
But
just
now I cry like all the time. I'm just like sometimes I shower and I'm thinking I'm crying, and today I'm like crying and I'm like, oh Lord Jesus, I cry all the time. Yeah. But I see that's a good thing.
yeah, no, it's really good because that means you're allowing
Yes.
yourself to feel again.
Yes. So that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I like sit with my feeling and I'm trying to like understand like, okay, why am I crying and da da da, and then I cry about it, and then yeah, and then I let it go.
Good. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So proud of you.
I know. I know.
You're so funny.
I know. But
Okay.
like, I have this like sadness in my heart. I just can't get rid of. I know
What?
that takes time, but how do I get rid of this sadness in my heart?
Oh, yeah.
I know.
Sadness, that just takes time. Are we talking about Scott or what are we talking about?
Yeah, we're talking about Scott.
Yeah, I mean, that's just going to take time. It's
Okay.
like heartbreak,
Yeah.
and that can't be, you can't speed that up. There's no shortcuts to healing heartbreak.
Okay. Is there anything else that you feel like I need to be working on?
Do you meditate, Joa?
No, but I want to. I just feel like I
Okay.
come home. Oh my gosh. Okay. I know. I
So
tell myself it's all the time. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And then I just don't.
make it easy. Download an app, a free app
Uh-huh.
that has maybe just a 10-minute,
Uh-huh.
meditation. You don't have to commit to something long, okay? And then in the morning
Uh-huh.
before you get out of bed, meditate. Just lay down. You don't
Uh-huh.
have to like make a big ordeal out of it.
Uh-huh.
Just before you get out of bed, put your earbuds
Uh-huh.
on, put on that meditation whatever you're gonna listen to for 10 minutes or whatever it is, okay? And then do the same at night, right before you go to bed. The hard thing is I don't want you to fall asleep. I don't want you to fall asleep during the meditation. So make it
Okay.
short. Make it short, but intentional. Maybe just like a
Okay.
meditation where you sit there for 5
Uh-huh.
minutes and breathe. That's all it is. Just breathe. Okay. Because when you meditate, you're slowing down. You're also allowing your body to do some release. And it's going to help you be more aware of you and your body. Meditation is a way for us to connect within. And when we don't do that enough, that's when we have a hard time processing things. So I feel like if you start to do some meditation in the morning and at night, be it consistent, commit to it, whether it's 5
Yeah.
minutes or 10 minutes, it's at least something, okay?
Yeah.
So something that's realistic for you, like,
Okay. I feel like 10 minutes is good, like a good start.
yeah. And then, do it every day. Try to make it like you brush your teeth.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. And I think that will help. That will help you to bring in more of the self-empowerment and also bring in more of the love, self-love for you to heal your heart, for your heartbreak.
Okay.
Mhm. Because I, and then more time just for you. It doesn't have to be like, massages and all that stuff. I think for you, the massages and spa days, like that's great, but it's not it doesn't get into,
Yeah. It doesn't really heal me
it's
or
very
anything.
superficial,
Yeah.
So that's why the timeline thing is gonna help, because you're being forced to go back all since birth and to remember.
Okay. I feel like I need that too. I feel like that was really good. Yeah.
And so I have the recording is a lot better this time, so you should be able to access that. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Do you know how to access it on the app?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, good. Because they changed it a little bit now, where it's like if you go into the app and then you go into docs. Oh, okay. So it's obvious. It says replays and meditation. And then if you click view, see what's weird, if you click view, it says nothing there. But then if you go back to the menu, like the bars, go back to the 3 bars, the menu, then the replays show up. I don't know why.
Okay. I'll do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All righty. What else? Any other questions?
No, I don't know. I feel like that was it.
Okay. I
Yeah.
think that's a lot to work on.
Yeah, I do have a lot to so thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome. Hey, thanks for coming tonight to the
Oh my
7.
God, that was so much fun. Yeah.
Was it fun? Wasn't it different?
Yeah.
Like all these crazy energies, not crazy, but just wild energies came in. I was like, oh my God.
And I felt like I kept my body kept jerking, and I was like, oh my God,
Really?
what the heck is going on?
That's so good. You are
Yeah, I
really
was like, I don't know what that means, but okay. Yeah.
No, that's really good. You were doing releasing of energy. You may have even allowed some energies to flow through.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
maybe you can think about like what all that was. Ask yourself what it was.
Oh, okay, maybe later. Yeah, I'll ask
Yeah.
myself. Because I was
Yeah.
kind of like, what the heck? Okay. And then I was just like, okay, well, let me just keep going. And then, yeah,
Tell me more. Like what exactly happened?
like I was just laying there in total relaxation. And then my body would just like jerk. I don't know. I was just,
Oh,
I think I did it like 2 times.
oh yeah. I think that was a release. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay. Awesome. Well, I'm glad you came.
I know.
And
Luckily, I saw the invitation. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to do it really quick. And it says like limited space. I was like, well, I better do it now.
yeah. And take a
But
bath,
yeah.
a bath or a baking soda scrub shower. Can you do
Yeah. I
that?
always do the baking soda one.
Okay, good. Yeah, do
Yeah.
that tonight, since it's the peak of the portal right now. So
Okay. I know. And then I've been noticing because I saw that you sent out that email about like protecting your energy. Like, how do you, because I guess about the negative, I've been feeling a lot of negative energy because I guess I'm on my period too, but I've been feeling so many negative energies and stuff like that. And I've been feeling emotional too.
yeah.
And then I sent out that email, but I didn't finish reading it. But how do I protect my energy fields more? I think that's what you said, right?
Yeah.
Or build a
It's
stronger
just-
energy.
Yeah, it is literally that light expansion. You have to be very intentional about it. Like you have to see it, like bring it into your body and just be like a freaking force field of light. Because if you think about the sun, it is so hot and powerful.
Uh-huh.
And that comes near,
Yeah.
it just like disappears, right? Like nothing
Yeah.
can compete against the sun. So basically, you're the sun.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And you can just
That's good.
like,
Yeah.
not allow any of that bullshit to come in. Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, remember that
Okay.
because I have to
I'm
tell
gonna
you
do that.
that
Yeah.
again, Jula. I'm gonna get mad at you.
Okay.
I
Okay.
need to
You're
tell
not
you
gonna. Okay.
light
No,
expansion
that's stuck
all
in my
the time,
brain.
right?
Yeah.
I'm all about the light expansion. So
I
like
know.
seriously use it for everything because it's just like it works, you
Yeah.
know? So yeah, and it's such an easy practice.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right.
That sounds good. Thank you, Teresa, for always
You're
helping me out. Oh my goodness, I swear.
welcome.
Okay, you too. Bye.
Bye.